Moving on to driverless cars. In the crosshairs of federal officials, these regulators are demanding answers because these autonomous vehicles are said to block emergency responders, interactive crime scenes, even fail to recognize major hazards to riders.
Joining us now is National Highway Traffic Safety Administration Administrator Jonathan Morrison. Thank you, sir, for being with us tonight. Okay, so what I often hear about these robotaxis is because there's no human behind them, they tend to be safer. There's no human error there. But now I'm hearing about all these problems when it comes to safety zones or emergency zones. Tell us what's going on.
Well, thanks for having me, Brian and Dagan. I think what's really important to note is, like you say, these are vehicles that don't have a human operator, which means they aren't going to have a lot of the same safety risks that you see with vehicles driven by humans. These are vehicles that are not going to be driving drunk, they're not going to drive distracted, and they should follow all of the laws. But that's if these vehicles are being developed and deployed appropriately. What we're talking about and what we issued a call to action about relates to some rare circumstances, but very serious circumstances. And these are situations where a vehicle is operating, it's driverless, it's in a situation, doesn't quite recognize what it's going to do, and so it does what you might want things to do, these vehicles to do in the moment, which is to stop and not cause additional problems. But when they're stopping in active emergency response scenes, interfering with first responders, law enforcement, ambulances, fire trucks, that's where we have real problems. And so we've issued a call to action to the industry to fix this issue, and we're going to be meeting with them in the coming month.
There are reports that the vehicles fail to recognize traffic cones, flashing lights, other safety threats like smoke and fire. Jonathan, is this a particular vehicle operator or manufacturer that you're concerned with, that you've gotten reports about?
We talk to all of the developers, all of the manufacturers, and we get reports when we hear of problems, either a crash occurring or a close call from the manufacturers, from third parties as well. And so we're seeing a trend of a number of these developers having issues, and that's why we issued a call to action, not to an individual entity, but to the entire industry, and we're going to be having some serious conversations with them. But I don't want us to lose sight of the benefits that this technology can provide. Again, in addition to the potential safety benefits, if this is developed and deployed appropriately, we also have the possibility of expanding mobility and access to our society to so many people who are left behind because of an inability to drive. Think of the people with disabilities. Right. Think of the elderly. So there's so many good things that can be brought about by this technology. But again, we as a safety regulator at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and under the fantastic direction of Secretary Duffy, we want to make sure that we're the cop on the beat and we're holding the developers accountable to a higher level.
Just about 15 seconds left, but if the makers of these cars can't figure this out, is it going to meaningfully slow down the rollout of autonomous vehicles?
We as a safety regulator have a great deal of enforcement authority, and we're going to be working with them to make sure that this is being deployed appropriately and they're fixing these issues. And if they don't, then we will use our enforcement authority. But we have full confidence that these vehicles have the ability to resolve these issues.
Awesome. Jonathan Morrison, Administrator. Thank you
sir.
so much, sir.